Hello, changelings, and welcome to the Night Garden. I'm VampireAntihero, and this is Conquer Thy Fear Studio. Welcome back, everybody, and welcome to another night in the Night Garden. I am working on some characters to throw into my portfolio. I am not a character artist, even though I draw a lot of people. So this is something that's a little bit intimidating. I have not tried to paint skin all that much. There's a lot of skin on this character I'll have to paint. So this is a little bit of a challenge for me. I'm drawing these in a rendering style that I did not develop. If you want more information on the rendering style that I'm doing, check out Hardy Fowler. He is who I learned this rendering style from. I'm not very good at it, but he does leaps and bounds with it. I'm practicing and trying to get a little bit better at this rendering style. So where I'm at right now, I have changed my paper to black. I usually start toned, but I'm following along a tutorial just to make sure that I get the skin rendering right. And my sketch almost all the way down, and I have a base color of a dark cyan. That has to do with Hardy Fowler's process, so let him walk you through that. I'm not doing this as a tutorial, just as a kind of vlog. So this is what I came up with. This is one of the 4 characters in a squad. His name is Ghost. The other 3 characters I have not drawn yet, but I'm developing these for a contest that is going on in Hardy Fowler's Discord right now, Digital Painting Studio. And I am also trying to flesh out my portfolio. So I'm going to be using these for a self-guided project for a portfolio flesh out. They're not going to be the only part of the portfolio. They're just going to be one project out of a large portfolio that I'm building because I'm trying to get a little bit more stuff into my portfolio that's a little bit closer to what I want to do. So without further ado, I'm going to switch my color back, and I've already rendered these pots. I'll come back to that later, but I'm going to speed up the process here, and from here on I'll just kind of talk a little bit about the project and a little bit about the character. So I hope that you enjoy. Before I get too far into anything, I would like to take a moment to thank my Ko-fi supporters as well as my Twitch subs over on Twitch. I couldn't keep doing these videos without you guys, so thank you for your support. That is Life is Great, Lovely Rosie T, and Jen Frank. You guys are amazing. Also, you lovely people over on Twitch, thank you for all of the support and everything you guys do. So you can tell in this skin render, I had a couple of issues with it. I'm still, like I said earlier, not very good at this method. I'm still kind of trying to figure out the best way to approach skin rendering. And I think I need to study anatomy just a little bit more to get my figures a little bit more on point. Because there is some stiffness and some weirdness with my figures sometimes. So you can see that I redid this a couple of times. But that's neither here nor there. This is an interesting rendering style. I enjoy doing it. I just need to figure it out a little bit more. So Ghost is a character who I came up with for a squad. There are 4 people in this squad, and they're all monsters specifically. So they are human hunters, meaning that they hunt human bounty hunters. Ghost is a little bit conflicted by this. So he is originally human. Ghost has been dead so long that he doesn't quite remember his original name. He used to repeat it to himself like a mantra. His body had died while he was astral projecting. So Ghost as a human was incredibly sickly, and he was often bedridden and had a power of being able to project his spirit to travel when his body couldn't. Well, one day when he was astral projecting and traveling, his body died. So he feels like his life was taken from him. He started to look for ways to return to being human, and he went pretty far with this until his own family captured his spirit and tried to sell it to a warlock for profit because he's a very strong spirit due to astral projecting through most of his life. So now he narrowly escaped that, and he spends his days as a ranged fighter in this misfit band of human hunters. They're a quartet of monsters trying to purge the earth of the people who would seek to destroy them. Ghost is the reluctant leader of the band. They likely would be solo workers if it weren't for him, though he's conflicted with it because he doesn't necessarily hold it against the people that tried to sell his soul, but at the same time, he knows that that's not okay and would rather fight that injustice than feel guilty for not doing anything and just kind of existing. So this is actually, Ghost is completely done. You'll see the finished illustration at the end here. But he's got 3 other characters with him. One is a necromancer, one is a tinkerer, and one is a tank fighter, a heavy melee upfront kind of fighter. So I'll talk about them more. I already started the render for the tinkerer, or Hyacinth is her name. She is a gargoyle. I will make a video when I'm doing the final squad piece. Let me talk a little bit about the other characters. So Hyacinth is the first one I'll start with, since she's the next one that I have actually started to render. She is a gargoyle, like I mentioned earlier, which means that she is a creature that can only really move around at night. A lot of these monsters can only move around at night or are most powerful at night, which has to do with them living in the shadows and that kind of thing. But also, Hyacinth is extremely intelligent. She is originally a statue that graced the walls of a Gothic cathedral, and over time these statues began to be imbued with protective spirits. So she also was once very, 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 very long ago a human, lost her humanity, and became a protector. So because she is a tinkerer, she has a whole bunch of different things that she can do. She has knowledge on random contraptions, and she makes weapons for the rest of the group. She's also really proficient at making ceramics and carving stone and that kind of stuff. And Ghost actually possesses his pot. So you see him holding this pot here. He possesses it when he needs to recover or rest. So that's so he doesn't fade away. It gives him something tied to the physical realm that he can relax in and not have to worry about being untethered and fading. So Hyacinth is really important to the group in that way. The next person that I'm going to talk about is currently unnamed. I'm still looking for a name for her. She is a kind of a small, like 3.5 head tall character that has very bat-like features. She's not a vampire, but she's vampire adjacent, kind of like a Nosferatu in that way, but her bat-like features follow a white Honduran bat or a marshmallow bat. So she's a vegan, and her diet is completely based off of fruits and sometimes vegetables. She's a fruitarian mostly, but she is hunted, 1, for her pelt, and 2, because people think of her as a bloodsucker kind of vampire. She's very cute. She looks very helpless, but she is one of the strongest characters of the group, and she wields this gigantic scythe hammer. She is definitely my favorite of the 4, mostly because I love bats, and marshmallow bats are adorable. But I'm still coming up with a name. She doesn't have as fleshed out of a backstory as the other 4 do. But the last character is a necromancer. They are very proficient at what they do. They are a mute character. Selectively mute. They don't talk much. They are very mysterious, and they're kind of an eldritch horror kind of monster. If you look too close, you start seeing too many arms, and their mask looks like it might be a little bit too fused to their face, or, might be a little bit too realistic to be a mask. But they are, at first glance, a plague doctor with a little bit of extra things going on with them that make you not want to look too long. They are integral to the team because Hyacinth and Ghost are both spirits that are possessing something that isn't actually their body. So Hyacinth is a gargoyle, which means that she, when she gets injured, starts to lose her tether to the statue that she possesses and starts to turn back to stone. So the necromancer keeps her tether strong. The same with Ghost. Ghost inhabits his pot when he's not showing his form. So when he gets injured, he has a hard time keeping tethered to the pot because it's not a living thing. It's just something that he's possessing. So the necromancer makes sure that their tethers are strong and keeps them from fading away. The necromancer can also raise other undead creatures, but generally doesn't focus on this. They're largely unconcerned with the battles that happen in terms of the bounty hunters and stuff like that. They really don't care because they could easily wipe out the bounty hunters with a wave of one of their many hands. But they were approached by Ghost, and they like Ghost as a person. They feel strongly for him because they also are very much restricted by their own lives. They are kind of stuck in this unapproachable bubble because of how terrifying they are, and they just want to have connections to friends. They want to not be alone. And because they're who they are in a bit of an eldritch horror, they kind of don't get that luxury. So they hold on to this group because it's like collecting friends. They consider themselves a collector of misfits and monsters. So those are the four. The Plague Doctor character still doesn't have a name as well. I'm still working on them a little bit more. But I hope that you enjoy these backstories. From here on, I'm going to throw some music on, and I'll let you guys enjoy the rest of the render. Alright, y'all, I forgot to press record when I hit this point, but all I did in the time that I was not recording was I put my paper color to that gray that was just showing. I did my pants layer here, and I did my swirlies and hair. The hair I still need to render. The swirlies I still need to render. The pants I still need to render, so I'll get to that in a moment. But I forgot to press record when I was working on them. So, I'm sorry. So this is Ghost. I hope that you enjoyed me talking about the characters here and also seeing the process that I went through to make this character design. I will be doing a video soon of the rest of the squad and the final piece that he's going to be a part of. So I hope that you are excited for that, and let me know in the comments below what you think of the squad. Again, thank you everybody for your support, and if you liked what you watched here today, if you could subscribe, press the bell, I would really appreciate it. I'll be back next week with something new. Until then, I hope that you all take care of yourselves, drink your water, and do what you can. I love you all. Bye, everybody.